barely an update of a video. So I got good news, I got bad news. Good news is I've made a whole bunch of gaskets. This one is not to be used because I messed it up and I sort of, ripped it right there. So there is a new one which is on the part that this belongs to. Don't know if you can see it's ripped right there. Definitely see it now. And I've got one more gasket left to make. Then I'm still waiting on the bearings for the bottom end of the motor to put them in here, the crank for the con rods, and then I can do the gasket check for the head gasket to figure out what thickness head gasket. And I got a problem, and I've realized it's probably because of the interference with that unit there, that if I walk over into this corner here, it just won't pick up any signal at all. That's got a Wi-Fi on it, but it doesn't really work. So if I walk over here, it'll disconnect, probably. And so there's the gasket there, 1, 2, 3 gaskets. I'm going to walk away now. Hopefully it didn't cut out. Hopefully it was continuously streaming through all that. Turn off the lights, and that's pretty much all the news I've got for you on the Pajero. We are going to be rebuilding those calipers, maybe partially, but I need to find a rebuild kit for those. Actually, I can use the numbers on that to help me find the right parts and see if I can get the parts. And that's about it for the Pajero. There's not really any updates. So, I can't say officially that this is done yet, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's a 5th rim somewhere else which might be going, because I had them for sale for a couple $100, and these are the original ones off of my car, off the white Triton that was here. I took them off, I put them on the black one, and then the black one had a problem with rubbing on the tires. So I decided to shift the tires from these rims onto the new rims that I picked up. And now I have these for sale. I might be selling them. I might have a bit more financial leverage to do some more stuff to this. But until then, we're going to go have a look at the Triton. Now, as you might be able to see, there's something different, actually really different about it. And actually doesn't look, it's not for the better, it's actually for the worst. As we can see, there's a bit of a patchy spot on the hood. That's because I last night removed all the stickers and it ripped the vinyl, and so underneath is the original silver paint, which is really buggered up. It's like as if it's been weathered, the cab's been weathered really badly, but the body was still in good nick, that they just put a vinyl wrap over it. And you can actually see here a little bit of that circular mark. That was underneath the wrap. There's a whole bunch of those circular scratches everywhere, so I reckon someone ran over it with his scrubbing brush of some sort, or some weird thing. And then I've got the stickers removed from the door. I had to put some clear on here because that's the vinyl removed, and then there's just a hole left. And as you can see, it's there's some spots that's ripped off the vinyl right here, and you can see the attachment, it says S, so you can sort of read it. I decided I want to remove it, except for these stickers, because they're load restraint ones that say OH and S. It is OH and S certified, so might as well leave them on there. This one's going to fall off anyway. And as you can see, this side there's no blue marks. This one came off perfectly. It did not rip off any of the vinyl. But I did learn something when I was removing these stickers. If you want to put stickers on your car for the purpose of working, before you put any stickers on any part of your car, know where you're putting it, then tape up everything you don't want to change colour of, and then try to get the same matching colour as this, and figure out the size of their sticker, and then just paint underneath on top of the vinyl. Then when you remove the vinyl, when you're ready to remove it, it will rip off the paint rather than ripping off the vinyl. So that's why it's in pretty good nick here, because there's some overspray from this patchwork here, where we filled it with putty, and then we painted around the surrounding area, so it literally came off nice and smoothly. And you can see some discoloration and whatnot. So this is a clear coat that's a shiny clear coat that's only there to protect it. It's not there to make it look really, really good. That's why there's bubbles, because it's all dirty there still. The hood should be pretty good. There shouldn't be any bubbles or anything like that, because I tried to do it really well. It does feel alright. I don't think it did a perfect job, but it's when it's windy, it makes it very hard to, constantly go nice and flat. I recall when I was doing it, it was nice here, and then as soon as I got to here, like you can see, it changes there. It was sort of the wind was pulling all the stuff everywhere, so I was just like, not screw this. I'm gonna try and rough it as quickly as I can, just so that I can get it coated and protected. So the clear coat was my protecting layer, and I can tell that it's not a perfect paint job, but it's on vinyl. I'll be doing this job properly if I do it in the future. So I'm going to leave it at that, I guess, for what we're doing with the Triton. It's going to the side. Battery's going to get pulled out. We're talking about uninsuring it because it's just extra money that I could better use somewhere else. And because if I pull out the battery, it's not going to go anywhere. If I pull out all the electronics that makes it drive, it won't be going anywhere. So it's literally one of those things where the insurance is only good so long as it can be stolen. But as soon as it can't be stolen, literally can't be taken anywhere, it is pretty much useless at that point, insurance. So I've got the insurance still on there. Thinking about removing it so there's a little bit of extra bob to go everywhere else every month. Yeah. So I'm not sure what we're going to do now. I literally can't do anything to Pajero unless I want to start pulling apart those calipers. They are literally locked up. I'm not sure if I can get a rebuild kit for these calipers. But the calipers are literally so locked up that I can't even pull them out and push them in. And that's because this pin here is actually seized. It literally needs to be rebuilt in order to fix this pin here and this pin here. And the reason we knew that we had to rebuild them is because of the original pads were mostly wearing to one side. So when your pads are wearing to one side more than the other side, it literally makes the pads last half as long, or basically about that much. So to make the pads last longer, you rebuild the calipers, or check your calipers before you replace the brakes. Fix the calipers up before putting in new pads. That way you'll get the optimum lifetime out of your pads. So on top of that news, I've actually got a little bit of a job. Apart from that, these shockers, the mechanic came out and was able to tell us which one was good, which one was bad. My dad said, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with these. I'd put them back on the car." The mechanic that we had come out, he validated what I said. With one of these shockers being stuffed, he said, one's pretty good, and the other one, that's no good. You gotta chuck it out. And that's why I'm replacing them. He even said, yeah, you gotta replace them. And he also said, if you came to me, I could have gotten your parts much cheaper than you paid. But what can you do, mate? So I don't know what else to talk about other than the fact that we're getting ready to re-grease the pins, clean the calipers, paint the calipers, do whatever we've got to do to calipers, get this thing driving. Dad wants to go crazy on this car, but he's not spending the dollars. I'm spending the dollars, so I should tell him to leave me alone and just let me do what I got to do. If he wants to spend some money on it, he should spend the money on it, and not make me have to spend the money on it for his drivability purposes and what he wants from this. Because if I'm spending all the money, I'm literally going to have nothing left. I'm literally looking at all the cracks in the wheel well here, because that's all body deadener. There's just cracks everywhere in it. So I'm going to fix up wherever there's rust. I'm going to fix up where there's broken brackets and stuff. And hopefully when this is done, it'll be very, very drivable. I actually like the bottom part of the car where they have this black, but the thing is, I don't think it's original. I think that's just a paint on the bottom for protection. And I think that's actually a bit of rust. So that there is cracked and rusty as anything. That's how we figure it all out. So what we're going to do, anywhere there's rust, I guess we're going to try and fix it up before it all goes back together. Paint it a little bit to give it that extra little bit of protection. Put it all together and away we go, hopefully. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I'm thinking about what I need to do to make things work out, because financially a lot of things are going to be pretty difficult to do, like from filming what we're doing to making a really good plan to show how to do it. I'm literally looking at all these videos, and I literally have hours of time spent into filming, and then they're just taking the best chunks out of those videos and then just putting them on the internet. So there's a little bit more to it than just, oh, film, make a live stream, film this, and then be done with it. It's literally mostly planned. Some of them are actually pretty good in the sense that they're not really planned so much as they are just done on a video, and then they just cut it down a little bit and just do it straight up in front of you live. Like one task, like rebuilding the motor task, like the tail here, the rear ends, you film every aspect of pulling apart and whatnot, and showing where the things go, how to organize. But it's just too hard to just set up all that stuff without all the right equipment. So yeah, it's one of those weird things where you've got to figure out what you want to do. So the way I'm doing the videos right now, I'm satisfied with doing these kind of videos every now and then, every day, until the cars are done, and then leaving it at that. But when there's nothing really to make, I do feel like not doing something unless there is something to talk about. So I guess it's more than enough of a video for the Triton and the Pajero for now. Do we get another rear end? The problem with trying to get another rear end is where we're going to get another one of these diffs. In the sense that we buy one, we're not going to install it, but we're going to have it put to the side, so when this one is too hard to get parts for or too hard to fix or whatever, we get another one, we restore it on the side, and then we throw it in when we need it. And I don't know if the diff ratio changes from front to rear either with this Pajero. This is an NL. Unfortunately, we thought it was an ND. It's an NL, but it's actually an ND. It's both because of that time period where they were building this one here. It was made as an NL, but it had ND parts in it. But it was also a bit of a weird thing where the NL has a few different variants of the same model, but they had different parts in them, from what I found out. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. So if we do any work on this thing, we've got to be careful of what parts we pick for it. If they're literally the wrong parts, they will not work. But I swear to God, these seats are the best I've ever sat in for a very, very long time. These remind me of the ZL Fairlane, which is obviously in the back corner over there because of the velour seats in this thing. Are really, really nice. Do I even have the key on me? Oh no. Well, did I leave it in the car? Oh my God. You would not believe how lucky I am to know that I've actually misplaced the key. That never happens. There's no seat on this side, that's why I needed the key. So I actually found the keys. I normally put them in my wallet or in my pocket, but not this time around. I think, well, that was like a rock that hit me in the face, or a bee or something. So these seats are actually not too bad. They're actually pretty comfortable for their age. It's just the problem is the keys in your pocket make it more uncomfortable than anything. Ow! Oh, I hope I didn't hurt myself too bad. I just sort of felt my hip go into something and it just really pinched. Oh, ow. So that's what happens when you move your body in really weird ways. And you can hurt yourself pretty bad. Boy, did that hurt. So this is what it's like. It's nice, it's soft, it's smooth. It's a little tiny bit silky and sticky at the same time, but it's nice, it's smooth. It doesn't feel super rough, it just feels nice and light. And well, it's not the smoothest in the world. It's literally this material here. It's like a velour. It smells alright in here compared to my dad's car. His car smells like cigarettes. I don't know if this has any cigarettes in it. Yeah, it has buds in it. But literally when you smoke in a car, your car ends up smelling really, really bad. So I advise against smoking in a car that you like. It has an altimeter meter, an inside-outside thermometer, which is actually pretty useful. Tells you don't get out of your car, leave your doors shut, you leave your doors open. I have no idea where the thermometers are, but that's pretty cool. Has the normal gauges in all Pajeros. It has the altimeter that tells you what angle you're on. So these are pretty useful little gadgets to have in a car, if you know how to drive it, that is. It's done 254,000 kilometers, so it's... My dad's has done way more than this thing has. His wiring's in worse condition. This thing, I reckon it's in really good condition for its age. And this has a frayed seatbelt. So, I don't know what we should do about that. That's not really that bad, but still, I didn't even think there was a frayed one. But these seatbelts are alright, apart from the fact that that one's a little bit damaged. These seats are in better nick than Dad's. Not bad. So, but this thing's riding around, you got the bouncy seats, you got soft, you got hard. I actually can't even show you the lever because I got the camera the wrong way, but this lever that lowers the seat. Oh my god, so it literally makes the seat have like, it feels spring loaded now. And when you pull the lever, it stops being so springy. So it's like suspension in your seat. Actually, I don't know if we can show that. It's literally like a suspension seat. Oh, come on. Come on. There's gotta be a way to do this, guys. There's suspension in this seat. Look at that suspension in that seat. Look at it. It's right here. You can see it going up and down. Hang on. Hang on. I'll grab this thing up here. Look at that suspension in the seat. That is a nice, comfortable ride. So instead of just having the suspension in the car, like the front shockers and the torsion bars with the leaf rear end, you have the seats with sponginess in them. So that's not bad. It's actually pretty good to have. This all has to go back together though, guys. It is literally the time to start putting this thing back together. I'm not sure if there's anything left in here. There is... I have no idea what that is. Vortex diesel. This is literally how much fuel I think I put in this car when I was driving it at that price point. This would have done 200 to 400 kilometers. That was how much I was paying per month for fuel, driving back and forth from school every day just about. So that was actually pretty good. I don't know what that is. Rubbishy receipts. I'm talking gibberish now. It's probably means it's time to really actually pack up this video. Thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you all for taking a tour in this car with electric windows. It's a nice car. It will drive smooth. It's got a nice smooth steering wheel. It literally feels nice and solid. That's how you want your car to feel when you're steering. But I shouldn't be steering that because then the brake lines might move and then sort of snap off or get damaged or stretched. We don't want that. It had a service as well, so that's good. Thank you for watching. Michael Mechanical signing off.